What's up, guys? When we have a joint that is put into a bad position, like my shoulder, into a bad position, so like I'm hunching forward, things get really tight, or maybe my hips, maybe I'm sitting down on my femurs all day long and I'm just crushing my femurs up into my pelvis all the time. Things get slightly out of position, things get really compressed, things get stuck. Now you have around all of your synovial joints this thing called a joint capsule. A joint capsule is just like this fibrous tissue. So it's like a really broad tendon that wraps around your joints and helps to provide like a brace. Okay? And just like pretty much all your other tissues in your body, they can become dehydrated, they can become stuck in a position. And typical everyday stretching doesn't really seem to touch these joint capsules that well. What we can do instead is use some elastic tension, some elastic stretching. So if I use a band that's wrapped around my body in such a way that I can actually stretch out the joints. Now what you feel with this is what we call a banded distraction. A distraction meaning that you're gently pulling joint surfaces away from each other, as opposed to being in traction where you're gently holding joint surfaces together. So if I'm going to wrap this around my wrist. I don't want to be holding it, I want to be able to relax my arm. So what I'm going to do, band is here. I like to hold it in between my forefinger and middle finger. That's just a little bit more comfortable for me. Keeps it a little bit more straight. I'm going to turn my hand down, palm down. And I'm going to turn around and keep my palm turning in that way. So not out here, but turning to the inside. It's internally rotated. And I'm going to have this pull my arm back behind me. And what you'll feel is that it's actually pulling on the shoulder joint itself. It doesn't really stretch out your muscles. But what I'm trying to do is improve this position, the hang position, my capacity for shoulder extension. So what happens to a lot of people is that they raise their arm and they typically can only get to about here, that kind of range, where what we want to see is that you can go there. So notice as well, there's my ribs, so you can see the mic as well, without moving the ribs around. So it should be totally independent range of motion. Ideally, you can get your arm parallel to the floor, thereabouts. So I can use this as a way of actually opening up the skeleton, because sometimes it's not the muscles that are restricting, it's the joint capsule, it's the joint, the skeleton itself that's obstructed and needs to be moved around. So I can use this to actually stretch out the skeleton, help to get it opened up, get more synovial fluid going in the joint. That'll heal your cartilage right up, really help to clean out arthritis, maybe. And then while I'm here, I just want to slowly rotate my arm side to side. And I would do this for 2 whole minutes and then come out of that and reevaluate. I would retest my position, see how that feels. So up behind your body and move your shoulders around, move your neck around, see how that feels, and then repeat on the other side. If you suffer with chronic pain, chronic injuries, athletic injuries, I have got you covered. My name is Ethan Hammond, and I am a strength and rehab specialist. I work with people who want to return to sport and fitness, but feel that they can't because of pain and injuries. I've helped people with conditions such as lower back pain, ACL tears, shin splints, neck pain and chronic headaches, and so many more things. Now, a lot of you will be going through things like this, like what I just listed above, and you're saying that you cannot train anymore. Bullshit. You have got to train, and you've got to train right. Train or complain, that is the way this works. Now, I work in person in Southampton, England, but I have online services as well if you're a bit further out. And I also offer free consultations to get you started with a free game plan and strategy for getting out of pain. All you have to do is to send me a text or a WhatsApp message to 07-305-231-339, and I will personally get back to you in the next 24 hours to get you started on the road to proper recovery. If you are serious about leveling up and making real change, this is how you start.